Hey, what's up, guys? Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope everyone's having a wonderful holiday. Hope everybody had a good Christmas. Comment down below and let me know what your favorite thing you got for Christmas was. But I'm making this video to kind of recap my year 2024 on YouTube with a lot of the things that I did, conventions that I went to for this year, because I'm very grateful and thankful for everything this year as far as channel growth and all the cons that I got to go to and the experiences that I had. So we'll start off with the channel. I ended last year with this milestone right here, hitting 5,000 subscribers right on New Year's Eve. So started off this year with 5,000, and my goal initially by the end of the year was just to hit 10K. 10K was my goal. Now we hit that maybe halfway through the year, which shocked me. And I'm very happy and appreciate all your guys' support. And as of recording this video, we are over 24,000. There's a small chance we might hit 25K this year. We still got about 12 days left in the year, so it's possible. But either way, growing 19,000 subscribers in a year is amazing. And I have you all to thank for that. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all you guys' support, comments, likes, subscribing, all that good stuff. So, this was a very great year for the channel. And for 2025, I'm going to be pushing it even more, even further. And I have a lot of things in store for 2025. I do have a video dropping on New Year's Day, January 1st, going over my plans for 2025 and a lot of the conventions that I'm going to and things that I have planned content wise. So stay tuned for that video. New Year's Day, it'll be dropping. This year, went to a lot of different conventions, right? So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big cons, and then a couple like smaller toy shows, things like that. So those videos are on the channel, but I really want to go over the 7 bigger conventions that I went to and kind of talk about all my experiences at each one of them. And we started off the year with a banger, 2024 Megacon in February. Now this con, it's a local con. It's in Florida. It's right by me. I go to it pretty much every year. Had a blast. First thing that I got super excited for was the Back to the Future cast was announced. So I got 2 plaques made, and I was able to meet and get Christopher Lloyd's autograph, Doc Brown. You can't go wrong. And I even was able to snag a picture of him signing it, which was cool. I even recorded a little bit, but I'm not going to post it because you weren't supposed to record. But it was just so unreal talking to Doc Brown for a little bit and having a little convo. I asked him, hey, did you have fun working on Mando? And he said, yeah, that he loved it. He had a good time. So Doc Brown had to get the autograph. So happy that he's still doing conventions at his age. He's up there. He is up there in age. So very fortunate to have met Doc Brown. Next, you can't get Doc Brown's autograph without getting Marty McFly. So I had this plaque made, was able to get this. Now, this was a really quick experience. You really didn't get to talk to him or anything like that, but it was just unreal just seeing Michael J. Fox that close and getting his autograph. Like, I grew up on Back to the Future. It means to me as much as Star Wars, so it's very special. And just having this and seeing him sign it for me, it was awesome. I was teary-eyed when I came out. I was so teary-eyed when I came out. It was unreal. Now, we also at MegaCon met Amon Esfandi, Ezra Bridger, and I had this plaque made with him from the Ahsoka show, but for the name, I had it say Jabba the Hutt, and he got a kick out of that. He was dying laughing. I was able to also snag a shot of him signing it, so it was really cool. He is so down to earth, such a cool guy to talk to. I actually met him again this year, and we'll get into that story, but it was just so cool talking to him. He's a fan just like us. So Amon is funny. If you get a chance to meet him, he's definitely worth the conversation and for the autograph or the photo op. Now, next, when these two got announced, I was so hyped. Hayden and Ewan came to Orlando, and for only the second time ever in history, they offered the dual photo op. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, last year at London Celebration, they did that there for the first time ever. And I did it there, and it was unreal. The only thing that kind of sucked was Ewan was filming a movie, so we couldn't be like right by them. Like they were on one side, there was an R2 in the middle, and then you stood there. So it wasn't like the best photo op experience, but it was still crazy walking up to both of them and just seeing both of them there because they've never offered that before. So I took that photo, put it on a t-shirt, and got this bad boy. And for this one, I got to get right in between the boys. Like this is one of my favorite photo ops because like look how happy we look. The three boys, the three amigos, just getting into trouble at Megacon, vibing out. And when I walked up to both of them and they saw the shirt, they were like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" They kept looking down at the shirt, looking up at me, looking at the shirt, looking up at me. It was so cool because they realized that, hey, I went all the way to London, did that, and now I'm here in Orlando to do it again. So this photo op, I love how it came out. It just makes me so happy looking at it, man. It just makes me so happy. It's crazy. It's the boys. Like I grew up on the prequels. So like being able to walk up to these guys twice and see them together and get a photo with them twice is special. It's so special. All right. So after that, we did in May Collecticon. So Collecticon was the first time I did went to a card show, a card convention, and now even more to this day, I'm more into cards, trading cards. That's a huge thing now in my life and in my collecting. But when I went to Collecticon, Charles Martinet, the voice actor for Mario, was there. So I had to get this custom N64 Super Smash Brothers plaque made, and he signed it. It was so cool to talk to the voice of Mario. Like this plaque came out great. I also brought my Nintendo Switch, my Mario edition, and he signed the base of it, which was awesome. So loved how that turned out. So super cool meeting Mario. Grew up the past 3 decades playing Mario games. So very special to meet him. And then my favorite character in Star Wars, Darth Maul, was there. I got to meet Ray Park. I got this episode 1 Phantom Menace plaque made. This was great. I kind of was nervous meeting him. Like, this is my first time meeting him. I'm like, bro, that's Darth Maul. He looked great. Dude is jacked. Like, he is still a Sith Lord. So that interaction was quick, but it was just great to meet him. And I mean, that's my favorite character. That was the first time I met him. I met Sam Witwer twice, so I'm just such a Darth Maul guy. It's great. Definitely need to get a photo with Ray Park. I haven't done a photo with him yet, so 2025. Hopefully, I'll be able to run into him at a con. So that was Collecticon May. Now the next one was a very big convention, very big experience, a one in a lifetime opportunity, real honestly. So August we went to Fan Expo Chicago, right? And like this happened. This Mark Hamill was there. Mark Hamill rarely does cons anymore. He did do San Fran Fan Expo last year during Black Friday weekend, right? I wasn't able to go. But before that, he hasn't done a con since I believe 2017 Celebration Orlando or 2017 New York Comic Con. It was something in 2017. So he was on hiatus for like 6 years. He did Fan Expo San Fran last year. They announced him for Chicago, and I was shocked. Shocked. So I booked it right away. Like the second it got announced on May 4th that he was going to be a Fan Expo, booked flight, hotel, bought badges, everything. I was ready to go. So this was the photo, and it was so crazy walking up to Luke Skywalker. And the first thing he says to me is, "Wow, that shirt, I've never seen it before." Like he loved Astro T's t-shirt. It was just crazy. I got to meet him, just said thank you for everything. And like I grew up like this is my introduction to Star Wars. In 92 or 93, whenever I saw it on VHS for the first time, it was this man right here, Farm Boy Luke in A New Hope. And like seeing this, it was just it was crazy, and it gets crazier, which you'll see in a second. But before we get into the next photo, I was also able to get an autograph. So I had this Return of the Jedi plaque made, and he signed this. So I love this version of Luke, all black, Jabba's palace. Like, come on, Luke was badass in Return of the Jedi. So got this plaque made, signed. So very happy. This was a quick interaction because he's so busy, but it was just great. And I just thanked him for doing the shows and said it was an honor to meet you. And it was just crazy. Like, come on, it's freaking Luke Skywalker. Now, when they announced this next part, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like this is a dream. So the next day, this happened. The first time ever, father and son dual photo op. It was insane walking up to both of them. Like, are you kidding me? The father, the son, Anakin and Luke together. This was the first time, probably the only time ever this would be done. They limited it to 500 photo ops. That's it. And like, yeah, the price was crazy, but like it was crazy. It was unreal walking up to, like, I grew up with Luke first, but then I grew up with Hayden in the prequels in the movie theaters. I saw all the prequels in the movie theaters. And what was wild is when I walked up and, said hi to both of them, Hayden dapped me up. I was like, "Hey, Mark, how you doing? Hey, Hayden, good seeing you again." He was like, "Hey," dapped me up. He was like, "Hey." The way he looked at me was as if you hadn't seen a friend in a long time and you just ran into him at the airport or at the mall or something like that. Like, you were like, "Hey," it felt genuine and authentic, like he remembered me. And I'm like, there's no way Hayden remembered me. And mind you, by this point, I had met Hayden 3 times before this, one single photo op and two dual photo ops. So this was my fourth time meeting Hayden. And I got a vibe like he remembered me. And it was crazy. So later that day, autographs for Hayden sold out. I had a plaque with me in case I got one, but I didn't. And shout out to Navo, my boy. Last minute, he had an extra Hayden auto. He sold to me for less than what he paid. I'm like, bro, good looks. Like, this is crazy. So I went, I got this Revenge of the Sith plaque signed by Hayden. But what was so insane is when I walked up to him, he said to me, "Hey, we've met a few times before, right?" And I was like, my mind was blown because he wasn't referring to, oh, we did the photo earlier this morning. He said, we've met a few times before. So the other three photo ops I've done, I guess he remembered me somehow, some way. And I was like, yeah, yeah. Like, it was crazy. So that was cool. As he was signing the plaque, I said to him, how was it spending the whole day with your son, Luke? And he laughed, and everybody in the room laughed doing the autographs, which was cool. And then when he gave it back to me, I was like, all right, man, I'm going to see you next week in Tampa for Tampa Bay Comic Con. Because literally the next week he was coming to Tampa here in Florida. And he was like, all right, cool, man. So that was just crazy that Anakin Skywalker remembered me from past photo ops that I've done with him, which was so cool. So some other autographs that I did get while at Fan Expo Chicago after I finished with Mark and Hayden, I was able to meet Patricia Somerset, who is the voice actor for Princess Zelda in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So I had this custom plaque made with both Zeldas on it, and she signed it. And she is such a sweetheart, so nice to talk to. It was great just to hear her voice in person because she's Princess Zelda. So I got this plaque signed. Then we had to meet the boy Cameron Monaghan, aka Cal Kestis, aka Jerome Velasco from Gotham, Joker. So I had this custom plaque made, half Joker from Gotham, half Inquisitor Cal Kestis from Fallen Order. And this was great, getting to talk to him. It's Cal Kestis, man. And hopefully we get him in live action one day. Next, we met Judas Chewbacca. So he played Chewie in Solo. He played Kelnaka in Acolyte. I love his autograph, and he draws like that little Chewie. So this was super cool. It was great talking to him. I asked him about him being Kelnaka in Acolyte. Like, did he get lightsaber training? And he got hyped. He was like, yeah, that there's no stunt doubles his size. So he did everything. So he got to do all the training, and he started playing with the lightsaber. It was so cool just to see that the happiness and the joy in his eye, the energy. And then I mentioned earlier, I met Amanis Fondi again, and it was at this con, and I did it because I wanted to see his reaction to this plaque. So I made a Jabba the Hutt plaque with Jabba on it, And when I gave it to him to sign, he was like, "That's me. This is me." Like, he was so hyped. He was so pumped. So Jabba the Hutt plaque, so hilarious. Great experience at Chicago Fan Expo. So we went to Tampa Bay Comic Con. The only thing I did there was a Hayden auto, and I brought my Darth Vader helmet, the top part of it, and I brought that to get signed. So when I went in there, it was crazy. Like, of course, you remember me because we just saw each other the week before, but like he was just having a full blown convo. He's like, "Hey man, what's up, man?" He was like, "Hey, so where do you call home? Where are you from?" Like, we were just going back and forth, and it was crazy that casually having a convo with Hayden. And then I was like, "All right," so he's like, "What are we gonna do?" He was like, "If you could just sign there." I gave him the pen. The helmet turned out great. And as he was signing, I said, "Hey, can you write on there Anakin is gone?" Now, I didn't do the upcharge to pay for a full quote or to get the character's name because you got to pay extra. But I was like, "Can I maybe get, like, Anakin is gone on there?" And he was like, "Sure." He's like, "Do you want the full quote?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he did the entire quote for free. He wrote Darth Vader on there for free, and it was just crazy. And then I gave him a little like bag with my stickers for celebration, the card for my channel, and my Japan celebration pin that I'm going to be giving out in Japan. And he was looking at it and he was so grateful. He was like, "Thank you so much." And he was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "I'm Tony. Like, nice to meet you officially." So it's crazy. That interaction with him was amazing. Like, he knows my name, where I'm from. Like, it was just it was nuts. It was crazy. He's one of the nicest people in the world to meet. And if you meet him a few times, like, he remembers his fans, and I'm not the only one. There's been plenty of other people with similar experiences that he remembers his fans, and to me, that's insane. That is insane. And the Hayden stories only get crazier later on in this video. Stay tuned. But speaking of Japan celebration, I will be there next year covering all 3 days. If you look down in the description, the link to my merch store, I got some of my Japan celebration merch in there. We got the hat, we got the hoodie. So if you guys are going to Japan and want some merch to wear to the airport, where while you're going to pick up your badges and your merch from Japan, definitely check out the link down in the description. After Tampa Bay Comic Con, we did Ocala ComicCon next. So met up with Star Wars Nerd there. It was cool seeing him there in person. So I got 2 autographs over there and 1 photo. So one of the autographs I got, I grew up on the X-Men show, and then X-Men 97 that just came out was a masterpiece. So the voice actor for Rogue was there. So I had this custom plaque made, and she signed it. She put "Hey Sugar" on there, Rogue, her name and all that good stuff. So this interaction was amazing talking to her. Nicest person in the world. If she's at another con that I'm at, I'm gonna make another plaque and talk to her again, or maybe get a trading card signed. She is just so nice. So very great interaction with her. Next, Shin Hatsi was there, and I had this plaque made. Had to. She put the quote on there, "You have no power." We got her on the speeder. So the plaque was great. The interaction with her was awesome. She's so sweet, down to earth. She takes her time to talk to you. It was such a great interaction. She had a panel. I was sitting front row at her panel. The panel was awesome. She's a great person to meet. And then later that day, after the autograph, after the panel, I got this beautiful photo with her. She's more gorgeous in person. It's insane. Pictures don't do justice. In person, it's like next level, but she's just such a sweet person. So it's really, really cool. So Ocala Comic Con was great. There with my brother. He got a bunch of autographs from a bunch of people I don't know, anime people, One Piece, Dragon Ball, I don't know, a bunch of people. But we had a blast. Ocala's a fun. It's like a smaller con that feels like it's bigger or getting bigger. So yeah, Ocala was great. That was in September. So now we're in October. Probably, maybe one of my favorite, if not favorite, con experiences ever was ICCC in Nashville, Tennessee. This was the 5th year 5 of doing it, year 5 of the con going on. This is my second time there, and I went crazy. I got 6 autographs, and 5 of the autographs I got within an hour, which is nuts. If you've been to a con, you know cons get crazy. So we're gonna rapid fire through these bad boys. we met Mark Thompson, who voices Thrawn and a lot of other characters in Star Wars books, and he also voices Gengar in Pokemon. Mark Thompson, a legend. This guy is so down to earth, such a great person to talk to. Like, if he's at another show I'm at, I'm definitely meeting him again just to talk to him. So I had this custom Thrawn and Gengar plaque made, and right next to him, the maker of Zahn, Timothy Zahn. This guy, if he's at a convention or any signing by you, go and have a really good question to ask him, juicy question. Because if you ask the right question, this guy is such a fan. He just goes off over and over, and it's so interesting. And I love his thought process because it's just it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Timothy Zahn is a legend. Next, we had to meet Paul Blake, aka Greedo. So this guy is so cool. He is so funny, so down to earth. But Greedo, OT, A New Hope, like the OGs, you got to meet them while they're still here. Speaking of OGs, Dennis Lawson, aka Wedge Antilles, was there. That was crazy. Seeing him, that's Ewan McGregor's uncle, like Uncle Dennis. Like this was amazing to meet him. And again, like taking advantage of all these OT actors while they're still here on this earth. This one hit my childhood because I grew up on not only Star Wars, Willow, the Leprechaun movies. This dude is in so much. So I got to meet Warwick Davis, and I had this custom plaque made, half Willow, half Wicket from Return of the Jedi, and he signed it and put both the characters' names. So this was so cool meeting him, and I actually rode the elevator with him too, which was crazy. Like, man, I'm in the elevator with Willow right now. Like, what? So awesome. And then the biggest one at ICCC, and it's crazy. This man is 87 years old. I hope at 87 I'm still going to conventions. I don't know. I don't know. But this man is 87-year old, and I got to meet what have we here? Lando Calrissian, Billy D. Williams. This was unreal talking to such a legend. Just hearing his voice, like the Lando voice is crazy in person. So it was an honor to meet Mr. Billy D. Williams. And like this is kind of bucket list to get off my list just because he's he's up there, 87, man. 87. So ICCC, besides that, meeting up with everybody, all the friends. I went with Ricky, Pop the Bounty Collector. Then we met up with General Kenobi's Bunker, the Nerd Dad, Appetite for Collectibles, Turntable to the Dark Side, Crafted on Ilum, Spice Runners Lounge, the Medina Lorian, the Nerd Dad. Did I say him? Maybe I said him twice. Whatever. I love him. We met up with everyone there. Beyond the Dune Sea, Mortis FM, Willow the Forest. Everybody was there. We were there like 16 deep. All content creators. Flex was there. So many people. So that was such a great experience. And guys, all these cons, I'm gonna put links to the playlist down in the description if you want to check it out or if you're interested, because I covered all of them. So I have multiple videos at all these shows down in the description. So say next year you're thinking about, oh hey, I live by where this is. If you want to check it out, check out the videos. Links will be down below. Now, we're going to end it with the last con of the year, GalaxyCon, Columbus, Ohio. And I went there because Hayden was there. Last con of the year. Wanted to see the boy again. Before meeting Hayden, I did get an autograph, another one from Princess Zelda, Patricia Somerset. She was there. So I ended up getting my dock from my OLED Tears of the Kingdom Switch signed. And she signed it in the Hyrule language around the circle on the front, and she wrote "Protect them all," and she said it to me in Zelda's voice, and it was so cool hearing that. And she signed her name, Princess Zelda, drew the three little hearts. So the front of my Switch, and that's my daily Switch that I use. It's so cool just seeing that every day with her autograph on it. Now that was on day one at GalaxyCon. Day two, we got lucky and was able to get in and be the second person to get an autograph from Hayden right at 10 when it opened, and I got this World Between Worlds card signed by Hayden. And this experience was crazy. So first, the card came out beautiful. Like the autograph, the signature, it came out exactly how I wanted. It came out perfect. But what was nuts is as he signed it, Well, so when I walk up and said, "Hey," he recognized me right away. He didn't remember my name, which I'm like, "All right, it's cool." But it's crazier. He's signing my card, then he looks up to me and goes, "Hey, man, I found out that you're Sith. What?" And he was talking about my channel, and I was like, "Star Wars Sith?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I found out that was you." And I was so shocked and confused. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, that's me." And I took the card. I'm like, okay, thank you. I'll see you at the photo op a little bit later. And it was crazy because I had a question I wanted to ask him. I had another trading card I wanted to gift him, but it just caught me so off guard that Hayden said to me, "Hey, I found out that you're Star Wars Sith, basically." And I'm like, what? So immediately walking out of the autograph, I'm like, did he see my channel? What video did he watch? Did he watch like reaction videos? Did he watch my podcast? Is he watching convention videos? Like, what did he see of my channel? It blew my mind. So the that was at like 10 in the morning. My photo was at 7 at night. So I had to wait the whole day for the photo to try and see if I could find out maybe a little bit more of what he knew about my channel. So it's time for the photo op. I line up, get in early. And when I walk up to him, I'm like, "Hey." So before I could say or ask him anything, he stepped in front of me and started having a convo with me. And in photo ops, they're like, quick, 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 stand there, next, next. So everyone's like yelling at us. And he's just standing there face to face talking to me. And I'm like, yo, what? He said to me, he said, "Hey, man, so your channel, you got a pretty popular YouTube channel, huh?" And I was like, "Thanks. Yeah, it's going pretty good, man. Thank you." He's like, "Man, yeah, good for you. That's great." And the fact that Anakin Skywalker said, like, "You got a popular YouTube channel," it blew my mind again. I was almost speechless. Like, it was so hard to, like, digest that in that moment, because like, I would never expect Hayden, of all people, to say that about me and my channel. It was crazy. It was so crazy. So then the photo op, we actually did this, which I loved how this turned out. I gave him The Tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, the Plagueis novel, to read, and I'm reading the Revenge of the Sith novel, and I love how this picture turned out. Like, come on. Did you ever hear The Tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? He has now confirmed. So this photo turned out great. And then, after the photo, I was like, man, dapped him up. Like, great seeing you again. Gave him like a little hug. I was like, have a good Christmas and a good New Year. He's like, yeah, you too, man. It was great seeing you. But the fact that he just was just having a convo with me, like, man, it's really good, man. Like, you have a popular YouTube channel, huh? Like, and it's like he just wanted to talk to me. It was such a crazy experience. It just blew my mind. It blew my mind. It's crazy. It's so crazy. So that was basically my year, convention wise, growth of the channel. Like, I'm just blessed and just so grateful for everything, and for you guys and for your support. And if you guys are here this long in the video, thank you so much. This is pretty much a long video. I'm just yapping up my whole year and everything that I did and went through. And I have so much planned for 2025. I cannot wait. So stay tuned for that video dropping on New Year's Day. But you guys let me know what story of mine in this video was the craziest thing that you heard. Drop that down in the comments and then check out this video next.